Today, we are diving into the concept of the M16 battle rifle, exploring the concept of its idea behind it, and as well, we'll be discussing the remarkable weapon originated from it. 1938 to 1944, the Sturmgewehr 44 was made. By Nazi Germany during the Second World War, there was about 500 made, and during Operation Barbarossa, 500 of those units were actually shipped out to the Russian front line. And during that time period, like the SCP-44, it made landmark, and it was like this space AG kind of weapon, and the squad that got obtained of the weapon, they fought their way all the way back to Germany, and pretty much it didn't turn the tide for Germany. No, it didn't tide the war for it. No, because they still lost. But Hitler really saw a really good propaganda use for it, but of course it didn't win them the war. Okay, now let's shift gears to 1960s. The Vietnam War started, and the U.S. kind of lacking in funds. Okay, so basically we got the M14 replacing the M1 Carbine and the M1 Grand, technically for the U.S. Army, and basically they need something lightweight, fast, maneuverable, cheap to make it. And short story is they hired Armalite, this one guy, during a project to make a new standard battle rifle, and it was Armalite that created it. It was the AR-15 from the AR-10. Now skipping forward here to the late 2000s to early 2020 to the early 2000s. Basically, the invasion of Iraq started, and the U.S., after making the M16, was kind of a flop because of how there was a whole conspiracy about how it was like designed to fail. There was no cleaning kits in the stock, and it's kind of just a bad waste. But during the 2000s, the siege on terror after 9/11, the U.S. Marines and the United States Army, they needed a replacement weapon, and what they made was the M16A2 by still Armalite, and during that time period, basically, it was used a lot. It was used by the Marines, it was used by the Army, and I think probably by the Navy too as a standard rifle, probably like kept in storage. But either way, it was used all over the place. It was manually grenade and with a M202 on it. Wait, no, that's a okay. That I can't remember, but it was specifically designed with attachments in mind and Picatinny rotor system. It was a very advanced for its time period, and mostly it was a very good gun, but still it was the United States Army, and people die, and it worked. It worked out in the end. Everything kind of went well, but the AR-15, it still stands in legacy as one of the most popular assault rifles in the world, and its history behind it was very advanced for its time.